Congressman, nice to see you again, sir.
Well, good to see you too.
Well, you certainly have been you've certainly been part of the news in the last 24 hours. So let me just ask the question straight up: are you leaving the race between now and election night? Yes or no, sir?
Absolutely not.
All right,
Absolutely not. I'm not gonna sell out on the people of the state of Florida. I'm not gonna start now.
President Bill Clinton has issued a statement saying, in part, he says, "I did not ask Kendrick," meaning Congressman Meek, "to leave the race." Is that true, sir?
That is true.
All right. Did he try to persuade you? Did he talk to you about it?
He didn't try to persuade me. It was before a rally or after a rally, I'm not sure, in Orlando at the University of Central Florida. We were sitting in the back talking. He said, "Anything to these rumors that I've been seeing in the paper about you thinking about getting out?" I said, "Listen, this is pushed by another campaign. I'm not looking to get out of this race. We're in the middle of early voting. There's no reason for me to get out. I feel that we have 2 more debates left at that particular time, or 1 more debate. Anything can happen, and I'm looking forward to pushing forward." And we talked a little bit more about politics and about numbers and how things work. You know, Bill Clinton is a student of politics. He loves it. We talked, and that was it. I mean, that was the bottom line. It was over. And then yesterday, all of a sudden, I guess it was a part of the strategy of some other force to start this whole issue in the Politico article about some deal being cut, and that I agreed to something, and that there was a rally plan. None of this is true. Some meeting in Jacksonville. I mean, I wasn't even in Jacksonville on the night of this so-called meeting. So I'm assuring the people of the state of Florida that I am in this race until 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, and the last ballot is casted.
Congressman, besides the meeting and when you had the rally, have you had any phone calls with the president?
I talk to the president all the time. I haven't talked to him since now.
Any other discussion at all about whether you were in the race or not with him besides that one?
No, we didn't have any discussions. We had a couple of discussions, but it wasn't about me getting in or out of the race. It was about the race. It was about politics in general. It was about the rallies that were coming up.
Did you ever talk to Doug Band, who works for the president, about getting out of the race or staying in the race?
I talk to Doug all the time. Doug heard
about
these rumors too. Apparently, the Governor Chris said he talked to Doug, and Doug did inform me that the governor did reach out to him, and that was that.
What did Doug say that the governor said to him?
Oh no, he was thinking that I need to get out of the race so that he can win. I mean, that was just the bottom line. How did
Democratic Doug Band, who's an advisor to the president, not advisor, but works for the president, happen to talk to Governor Christ, and then there's a conversation relayed back to you?
Let's put it this way. Doug is a friend of mine. President Clinton is a friend of mine. There are a lot of friends of mine in 16 years of public service. Believe me, there's not a day that doesn't go by that. I mean, Governor Chris called me at 4:45 a.m. on Monday morning. I'm just not up and at him at 4:45 a.m. to talk about politics. So I think he's a very desperate campaigner. He sees that he doesn't have, quote unquote, the momentum.
I'm unclear, though. I'm unclear that I want to get to the conversation where I want to get to the call where Governor Chris called you at whatever time that was. But I don't understand how Doug Band and Governor Christ are talking.
I don't understand it either. I don't understand why the governor said that he could talk to the White House. I mean, I haven't talked to the White House in several weeks. I don't understand that either. I don't understand some of the things that are going on. I'm a guy down here running for the United States Senate. It's not up to me to understand the desperation of a candidate in this race, Greta. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I'm straight up and down on this.
Has Governor Christ ever had a conversation with you at all at any time about staying in the race or getting out of the race?
Governor Christ called me 4:45 a.m. on Monday, okay? He said, I'm sorry, I know it's early in the morning. I'll try to reach you or catch you at the AIPAC meeting. He got there an hour before he was supposed to speak. When I came off stage, he was saying, I really think if you can just, allow me to run and get out of the race, that I can win. And I just told him, I said, Governor, that's not going to happen. I mean, that bottom line, that is just not going to happen. If anything, he needs to think about getting out of the race. He knows it and I know it. And the bottom line is that I never heard of anything like this. You get in a race, you run your campaign, Greta, on behalf of the people of the state of Florida, on how you're going to stand up for them. The outcome of this election is going to be the outcome of this election. If he's in, I'm out. It doesn't matter. Marco Rubio leaves, people are going to vote, and the person that gets the most votes win.
Have you had any conversation with anybody who works for or at the president or at the White House in the last 10 days?
No, I'm telling you, I'm answering.
How about the DNC?
I know that
I'm trying to get the record.
I feel like a cross-examination here.
No. I'm just trying to. It's very confusing. It's very confusing from our end. I mean, you're deep into it because you've been campaigning. I understand it, but I'm trying to understand. So I want to get through the list. So you've only had one conversation with President Clinton. That was in person about whether or not you would stay in or get out. Is that correct?
I've had a conversation with President Clinton, maybe a phone conversation, maybe a one conversation in person, but I don't think it goes beyond that. It wasn't like there was a. Let me just say this, Greta. Let me just say this for the purposes of setting.
Why would President Clinton? Why did you and the president even have this conversation? Who brought it up?
We talk about. Hey, listen, this is not a new issue. I just want to say this. When I won the Democratic primary, that's when this started. The first press release out of the Charlie Crist campaign was about, this is a two-way race, and then, certain people started calling and saying, hey, maybe you need to think about getting out. I mean, this has been going on. This is not a new issue. This has been reported. There's been rumors of, from people, from high-ranking folks in the U.S. Senate to the White House to the, there's been rumors all over. So, Greta, this is not new. This has been a topic for a very long time. My response consistently has been that the governor should get out of this race if he wants to get out. He nominated himself to run as an independent. I was nominated by the in a Democratic primary against a billionaire, I must add, and we won by 26 points. I qualified by petition, and the real issue and the reason why, I'm talking to you and others is to assure the people of the state of Florida that I'm in this race, and all they have to do is vote for me.
And I have no doubt, Congressman Meek, that you're staying in. You're staying in till the last vote is counted. But I'm curious, did Governor Crist offer you any incentive or offer you any sort of like, look, if you get out now, this will happen? Did Governor Crist at any time offer you anything?
Well, just put it this way: there's very little Charlie Crist can offer me.
So is the answer no? Is the answer no?
No, well, Greta, here's the thing. He didn't offer me any. He couldn't offer me anything. He can't offer me anything. Let me tell you, only thing that he can offer me. Only thing that he can offer me is his vote, and I don't think I'm going to get that.
I don't think you're going to get his. I don't think he's going to get yours. I think that's pretty safe. But has anyone like come up to you and said, look, you get out of the race, you get this, or we'll try to do this, or whatever? Has there been any sort of? I understand you're standing strong. I understand you're in there to the bitter end. But has anything been offered to sort of sweeten the deal with you?
No, ma'am. Anyone that knows me, all of my friends that know me, and people who know me, that I am not, I say that I've been in politics for 16 years elected, before that 5 years as a state trooper. I'm not a politician, I'm a public servant. You can go to a politician and play let's make a deal. I'm running for the United States Senate because I'm frustrated with what's not going on in the Senate and standing up for the people of this state. I'm putting a little humor to it because I have to, because otherwise it will turn into something else. And I think it's just hilarious that this story has turned into what it is. Bottom line, documented. Bill Clinton is a very good friend of mine. He's done 11 events for my campaign, 2 major rallies. I'm telling you, there are candidates that are begging the president to even do a robocall for him, President Clinton. And he has done 11 events for me. He was one of the first major endorsers in my campaign. I consider him a friend. I consider Doug Bann a friend. I think that's the reason why the governor was calling them. I consider myself having a lot of friends in the White House. I don't have to call them for their friendship. The president has come down twice and campaigned with me. I probably met him at the tarmac 2 or 3 times since this campaign's going on. So I am running my race, and I think what's been a part of the governor's strategy from the beginning when he left the Republican Party, he left the Republican Party. I still consider him a Republican. I am the only candidate that gives voters who want to vote for a pro-choice candidate against offshore oil drilling, endorsed by the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars PAC. I'm the only candidate.
And Congressman, I gotta go, but thank you. And as I say to every candidate, this is exciting. Good luck Tuesday night. We'll see. See what happens in your race and every other race across the nation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much.